Hey, I'm Angel Rose,
And I'm Luna.
and welcome to the Girls Room podcast.
Today's topic, women's mental health, is important. Let's get
Let's
into
get
it.
into it. Let's go.
Question number one. What
Let's
do
go.
you think is the thing most women are struggling with today?
Oh, I think women are most struggling with not having their voices heard,
Hmm.
and I think that puts a damper on who we are, and being neglected, and not having the power or the authority to use our voices to be heard in general. And when we're silenced, it kind of reverts that sort of we start to you know we start to crumble on the inside and we start to begin to hibernate, and
Mm.
it's quite frightening with the statistics of how many women feel as though they don't have a voice, they don't have a say. It just it, it gets put in front of us to deal with, and with men it's just easier for them to understand it. But what happens with us is when we don't understand it, it becomes almost frightening when there's no voice to be heard. And when there's no voice, there's no positive way of being part of society. That's what I think.
Nice, nice, very nice. What do I think is the thing that women are most struggling with today? I do definitely agree with remnants of your point, but I do see an improvement from what, like, let's say 1930s, 40s, 50s to how it is now. Even before that, women were, we couldn't even vote at some point. I do think that there's certain demographics of women now that are still being silenced, but I think there's a big majority that are also being heard. And you know what? We're being heard by other women. So kudos to that. What do I think women are most struggling with today? I think it is having our opinions respected. It's not about being heard anymore. We are not no longer scared to get up and roar and bark and do what we need to do in order to be heard. But I do think there's a lot of people out there that just don't care about life in general, don't care about other people, other people's opinions, and it's not just men. There's some women doing it too. And I think that's a big struggle for women today, because as far as we've come, it's coming to a point now of how do I explain it? Maybe who's the strongest right now?
Yeah.
I think there will come a point where we'll break off and it'll be just who's the most mentally strong. But for that being part now, there's definitely a point, especially with men, where they're just using a lot of physical aggression against mental stimulation that the women are pushing through. And I think that's a big step back in being having our opinion respected. So yeah, definitely that's something that I think that all women are struggling with at this point in their life.
Well, I really respect that. I do have one more thing I'd like to add to that, which I do agree with what you're saying, but at the same time, what us women also struggle with is there's a power shift when we have that power shifted away from us. It's
Mm,
sort of we don't the steam train doesn't continue, it just halts. There's you're looking at mental health when you're looking at having to start a family, raise kids, having to feed those kids, put them through school at the same time, when it's not just a voice but opinion, but it's also a power play
mm.
because we're expected to take everything on.
Well, exactly. The world's a battlefield and we're just little soldiers in it, aren't we?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This the one thing that I want to add to it was the whole power play was who's in charge of what. Sort of have we broken that stigma of the yesteryears of 1950, where the wife was just seen with the kids, feeding them, taking them to school, shopping, coming home, making dinner, having the house clean. There's a power struggle in that form, and I think that's the other thing that's harming our individual self and our mental health is the
Mm,
power play as well.
definitely.
Yeah. All right. My question to you is, what resources are available to us during these times?
So, I think one of our biggest one is the power of other women. Uh, Coming together and having respect for each other's opinion and putting physical movement behind that respect as well, it really is a great resource to our mental health and to our stimulation of our emotional sides and what we need to fulfill in life. I believe there's a lot of facilities out there that accommodate just women mental health. They focus primarily on it. They understand things around prenatal depression, post traumatic events that you go through that cause, things surrounding abuse or whatever it might be that is a woman's problem. They've got these great facilities now where they're really taking time to understand people's mental health and help them and cater these things in a pathway for you to be able to, I don't know, probably not accept what happened, but just get to a place where you can continue on with your life and try and find some peace amongst it. I think there's some really great resources available to women at these times, which weren't available a long time ago. So that's a win for us.
I think that the other thing that's the good resources is, we now have social media where we can Google and see what women's groups are out there,
Mm,
whether that's by Instagram, whether that's by Facebook, but also now the biggest game of them all is TikTok, where there are plenty of women who
yeah,
talk to women every day about their problems.
definitely. TikTok's a great one.
And I think what TikTok has done is provided a platform and a room for a lot of women
Yeah,
to communicate together, to talk to each other, to be able to find a safe space. Then they'll create their Facebook group page where they all meet up and bring their own food and drinks.
yep,
They talk to each other, they spend time together. And I think the fact that we now have the resources to go on TikTok and say,
yep,
I'd like to join a girls group or I'd like to join a women's group where I can be myself and talk to other women about what I'm feeling or going through, you know, and it's almost freeing. So
it is community, and I mean, amen to that, because that's
yeah,
really what we've needed for a long time, and we'll continue to be that pillar for each other, I think, which is a beautiful thing to see women come together like that.
I have to shout it out to TikTok. Thank you, TikTok, for providing that because if we didn't have TikTok, we'd still be struggling through Facebook going, who can I talk to? What number can I call? Who can I reach out to? Is anyone going to be there for me? Is anyone going to hear me? Am I wasting my time? But I think, um, I know this is old news, but let's look back at the presidential election when Kamala Harris lost. A lot of females reached out to other females
Yeah.
because it's sort of like, and I
Yeah,
reached out to them, and sort of there was that
we were
love.
there for each other, exactly.
Yeah,
It was a nice time. That's what I mean. These type of events bring us together, us women.
yeah,
It's really nice to see that um, women have evolved so far and will
yeah,
continue to evolve as a strong community. All
yeah.
right, question number 3.
Let's go.
How can friends and family and communities better support women who are struggling with their mental health?
Oh, okay. So we did touch. As I said, one platform is TikTok. The other platform is creating Facebook groups, putting notices out there, women who are seeking refuge with other women who just want to talk away from the men, who just want to release what's going on the inside, to be able to join groups, have lunch, have a community that's full of, powerful, strong, independent women, um, who, I'm sure we touched on this ages ago, who are, we talked about ancestral and sort of bring the ancestral point of view into it, that we are standing on the shoulders of ancestors who are guiding us to be able to reach out to other women and go,
Yeah,
you need to reach out, you need to get help, you need to talk to someone.
yeah,
And sort of that star, that light that's helping us. And it's removing that stigma of, I feel like I can't breathe, there's something wrong with me. And I think that's a very powerful thing for me.
of
I think
course. And no, it's a very beautiful thing, like I said, to come together like that. You have anything else to add, or
that's it.
awesome? How do I feel that friends and family, and the communities around them can better support women right now? I think one of our biggest areas right now is domestic violence. Like I said, I feel that men use their physical dominance over women far too often, and it's not an equal competition, do you know what I mean? Like if you were really on terms here and you really wanted to fight back on equal terms and like who's the true winner, it's like if you're going to go against physical strength, women's going to lose. Most women are going to lose. We're 100% not stronger than men, and we know that. Okay, we're not ridiculous. We're not some sort of whatever it is, but I think there should definitely be some nuanced help behind all of that because why are they letting these women go through it so often and letting them stay? Do you know what I mean? There should be more interventions. There should be more women's community houses. There should be more education behind this, even in schools. There should be some sort of confidence building, when to leave, how to leave, what to do, when, like all that type of stuff. There should be a certain go-to plan for this. And I don't know if other women will create this for each other one day, possibly. It's going to be in that direction. It feels like it would be, but they could definitely better support women in that way. How else could they better support women? I feel like there's a large majority, and I hate to say this because we have evolved so far as humans. There's still a large majority of males, especially from foreign backgrounds, that believe that women are underneath men. And I don't know if that's just a man thing that they're passing on to each other and they think that that's okay, but women notice that. Women see that, and we talk about that, and we talk about how we don't want that. And I just feel like they could do better in terms of that. If you really want to support a human's mental health, you need to do everything you can to create an environment where they can thrive in. And if you're putting any sort of like I'm better than you energy over someone, like why are you even around them? You're not doing them any right. You should be equals with people that you love. You should treat them as equals, and you should treat anyone that treats you well, in my opinion. Um, yeah, I don't know.
I,
I guess the communities could improve in these points, and they will, because it's come a long way from what it was. Women having no voice, women having no rights, and now look, we live in a completely different world where survival and working and all that stuff is necessary for every human. They don't want to catch anyone lacking because then you're a weight. You're holding down society. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know, possibly things around that, and just yeah, really, I think my biggest one, like I said, is the domestic violence.
I think you're right about that. I mean, with the statistics of how many women are beaten every day to the point of being killed. But what's important is that the girls, if you're out there, women, if you're out there, it's important to quietly have a book and pen and highlight and go, I need to grab a bag, put it with
Mm.
clothes, with your medication, with this, with that, charges, etc. Hide it so that that day, once a certain person's left the house for the day, you're able to go to the police station, go, I need somewhere safe to stay. I have a friend who can, keep me until I can get off my feet. Go to a friend's place, change your location, change your number. That's another thing we need to look out for is to change your number, turn off the location, be hidden away, pretend you're off the grid when you're not, and sort of have a safe space to be in. I mean, it's frightening and alarming with the rate that we're going at right now. I mean, we do need to be cared about. We do need a safe place to go to,
Mm.
whether you have a friend or a grandparent or a sister or whatever, a best friend. It's always important to reach out to someone if you're frightened. Go to the police station, file a report, and find somewhere safe immediately.
Look, I think that's why TikTok's so great at the moment because those people that don't have anyone or any resources to go somewhere or get away, they're
Yeah,
having a voice. Do you know what I mean? People
yeah,
from thousands and thousands of kilometers away commenting. People on the other side of the world are chiming in, and it's like I said, like you said, TikTok's been a really great community to bring us all together.
yeah, absolutely. Here we go. Last question. I think we did touch on this, but here
Uh,
we go.
Question
What?
four, actually. Go on,
Oh,
go.
is it? Yeah, question four. Uh, what role does social media play in influencing women's self-esteem and mental health?
You've already touched on a great part of this. I'm not going to need to reiterate on that.
No, no.
TikTok is there. We love it and it's great for us, and we're using it to its best um, resource ability that what it can give back to us, and that's it. What roles does social media play in influencing women's self-esteem? Let's talk about on the negative side of this. We still got this whole competing for the most attractiveness thing going on.
Yeah,
They still try to pit us against it. They still try to tell us what's the most healthiest body type. They still try to show us what's the most beautiful thing. What's the best to wear? What's the best to eat? What's the best to dress? It's just everything in that um, industry from the past has really had a chokehold on the image. of how women see what is the most beautiful thing. I think in recent years, more than anything, there's been a real big boom on like body security and like feeling comfortable in your skin and accepting yourself for who you are. And they have plus size models and they have these type of models and that, and they do campaigns based around all this stuff. And I believe that's played a really great role in building up everyone's confidence in the world. Everyone's beautiful. Everyone should love the skin that they're in, and everyone should try and do what's best and healthiest for their body. Um, Social media is at the moment, now that media and internet evolves, okay, like when we were younger, the internet was just beginning. It was still in its first legs. It was still a toddler, so to speak. Now that it's really evolved, you've got this mix of mixed messages.
Yeah,
Mixed messages, mixed messages. There's still things that stand out and they're like, oh, that's the cool thing. But here's the thing, there's lots of things that are the cool thing now. There's not just like one thing. Like, before if you were into hip hop, you were like the coolest and you
yeah,
were the prettiest and that type of stuff. Now it's a whole list of things where people will be like, oh, I love this, and there's a whole community behind it.
mm,
Um, that is a really great thing for women, but it can also be really hard, depending on what side of the pill you're on. Whether it's a negative influence and you start believing it, or you start seeing something, oh, I really love that, and it makes you feel positive about yourself. Um, we've got a double thing going on here, and I think that's going to happen with anything that's got to do with technology at this point. Just as the internet keeps evolving, there's going to be these little pocket, communities that either make you feel good or make you feel bad about yourself, and they just exist in our timeline, and that's it.
exactly. Like for me, I'm not exactly skinny. I'm not exactly what I should look like. I am a work in progress.
Mm,
I am trying to lose weight. I'm trying to look healthy, feel healthy for me, not because I'm being told to, or not because social media has influenced me to, you know, look like Ariana Grande or look like the Kardashians.
mm,
I think forgive me for saying this, but when Lizzo came on the scene, I think Lizzo's absolutely gorgeous. She's
mhm,
stunning.
yep,
And she kind of brought the message of, I'm more than enough. I'm happy with who I am.
mm.
Who cares what you think?
Oh, exactly.
I'm beautiful. My skin, look at me. I'm what God made me out to be. And I think that's a very powerful tool is that there's there's finally cracks starting to appear where girls now going, oh, I no longer have to look like a Kardashian, or I no longer have to look like Ariana Grande.
Yep,
I don't have to look like this sort of artist or that sort of artist. I don't have to have the latest fashion and makeup and shoes and etc.
yep,
I can just be me.
yep.
And I think when Lizzo came on the scene, much love to you, Lizzo, she broke that.
Mm,
And I'm very pleased that she broke that because she showed girls everywhere that who cares? Eat what you want, drink what you want, dance how you want, sing how you want. Who cares? You are you. This is who
yep,
God made you.
yep,
If you want to lose weight, fine, but do it in a healthy way. Don't just, lose weight because they're forcing you to, or you're being told you're not enough and not beautiful enough. No, you are. You just do it how you feel comfortable.
mm.
And I think we touched on something where you said like years ago when the internet came, we were forced to, you gotta look like this
Yeah,
model.
exactly.
You gotta look like her, or you
It
got
was it was much more focused on that for sure. There was I did remember seeing like body positive people, but it was never like focused on.
yeah. Now we have the ability of this is me. Don't
Mm.
like it? Oh, you
There's
know?
definitely people out there, sis, that want to create a world where everybody feels accepted and loved, and I think that's just a pillar of evolution. So
Yeah.
let's see what happens with that. All right, question number 5. What have you personally learned in your journey through mental health?
What have I learned is to slowly but surely start to love myself and tell myself I'm enough. I'm beautiful. I'm smart. I'm radiant. I accept myself through everything. And yes, I have flaws, but I'm a work in progress. I can heal myself. I can do everything and anything everyone else can do. I'm a person of love. I can give love. And I'm learning to not doubt myself in certain things, allow my woman's intuition to help me and my life and my journey and my story to be able to use that and help someone else, you know, help,
Yeah.
for example, you, like my sister, my best friend, people out there say, this is how I feel and this is what I want to give to you. This is my
Mhm.
gift to you.
Yeah.
Let me be there. Let me be that light, and I think you've also taught me that. And I think I've never said this before, but you brought out something in me I never had. You know,
Thank you.
you've made me laugh so hard. And I think we rely on each other
Mm.
to talk about each other's pains because we go through the same thing.
Yeah.
But we also need to rely on each other because we are women. Women need to stop being snarky and put each other's crowns on our heads.
Exactly.
We're all queens. I mean, why can't we just put, like, for example, put a crown on your head or put a crown on her head or whoever or mine? And I think that's what I learned along the way is I'm enough and I can do this for myself and I'm more than capable of doing anything I can and I can help others because I'm still learning to help myself.
What a lovely message. That is quite a lovely thing. What have I personally learnt in my journey through mental health? I'm going to offer a different perspective on all this. I suffer from OCD. Um, Formerly diagnosed. Um, I spent a lot of my life thinking I was mentally ill, which I guess in a way it is. My own journey with mental health has sh what I've learned from it is the most thing is resilience. Resilience. I've learnt that life throws a lot of curveballs at you. A lot of bad things happen, misfortune, sad, whatever it is, even big, small, whatever it is, they happen consistently
Mm.
throughout the years, and you just have to go through them. I struggled for a lot of my youth with depression, and um, a whole list of other stuff. As I got older, the thoughts got a lot harder to deal with. I won't go into the details of it, but OCD is quite exhausting. Your brain is not your friend. It doesn't matter if some people will be like, "Oh, I am my own fire, my own flame." I'm not that for myself, but I force myself to be behind it all. I have learnt resilience through it all to just continue on and to foster an environment that I would want to thrive in myself. I do not um, discount anyone. Everybody isn't equal to me until you start putting me down or you think that you're above. I will then meet you in your place, of course. But through most things, I love my friends, my family, all that stuff, and I foster that, and I grow what it is, and I've developed strength from it. I've developed strength. So
Mm.
for all you other women out there struggling through mental health, there is a pathway here.
There
It
is
took me
help out there.
it all exactly you have to be your own help at the same time. You can't be actively sitting at home and saying, I want help and not go out there and try and do things, jobs, hobbies, friend groups, book clubs, libraries, just anything. You just throw everything at it, curveball, therapies, whatever. You don't like that, you stop doing that, medications, whatever. You just have to consistently keep pushing. You have to get up and function. You don't have to enjoy doing it, but you have to try. And that's what really, for me, developed this understanding of how to get through all of those things. Um, I've also learnt um, to be there for myself. Um, and I've learnt how important it is to put myself first. No matter how much I love everybody around me, and I love, you're my best friend, my sister. We're not blood related, but we're so close. We talk, like you said, we talk about everything. Um, I am the same way with a lot of people. If they foster a relationship with me in that way, I will foster it back. Um, I won't leave someone hanging in those ways. Um, and yeah, I guess a lot of people have said to me, and I guess a lot of people would have said to you that, they feel comfortable around me, or they feel because I developed this nature with everybody. I just feel personally that I have learnt to do unto others what I would want done to me. And that's it, really, I guess.
I will leave I will leave you with this one last thing to make you laugh,
Go
hopefully.
on.
We are very similar to Mother Nature. We can be very quiet, very peaceful, very calm. But in a light switch, it all turns into a tornado. And we're very destructive in our path. Not violently, but with words. How we cope with it or how we deal with it is another thing. Because when Mother Nature's about, you run and hide. She's not forgiving, not at all. And I think Mother Nature has taught me that she is the captain of her own ship. She steers the boat however she wants. It doesn't matter which way she goes, she does it. And I think that's what us girls need to learn is how to steer our boats our way.
What a beautiful incentive to finish our video off with everybody. So thank you for joining us today. And Angel,
Thank
do you
you.
want to see us out?
Yes, sorry. I'm Angel Rose. Thank you for joining us.
See you guys.
Bye.